is some news within the Big 12 in terms of men's basketball. Texas Tech transfer Fardaws Aimaq, Aimaq. I apologize if I mispronounce it. He's expected to miss several months due to a broken foot. This was reported by John Rothstein, and he's reliable. He's a transfer from Utah Valley, and he was really good. To explain the numbers, he averaged 18.9 points per game. He made 24-46 on threes, 141 for 195 on free throws. He averaged 13.6 rebounds per game, 1.3 blocks per game, 0.7 steals per game. The turnovers needs to be cut down a little bit, but that's like 3 turnovers per game. But still needs to cut down some, and 2.7 fouls per game. So, this is honestly not great. And overall in the field, he shot 49% from the field last year as well. So, he's a really good pickup. He was a good pickup for Texas Tech men's basketball, but unfortunately, he won't play for several months. I don't know if it's for until conference play, or is it out for the year, or anything like that. I would just say out indefinitely, just to generalize it, because who knows? I just know one thing. Texas Tech lost a lot of players either to turning pro, like one Clarence Nadolny actually decided to turn pro during the summer instead of coming back to school. Of course, those 6-year seniors, of course, they're gone, some of them. But they do bring back Kevin McCullough, Kevin Obanor, though, and that's at least he's coming back. And he's the only double-digit scorer coming back from last year. Because Bryson Williams is not back. Terrence Shannon Jr. transferred out. Kevin McCullough went to Kansas. So, just to explain the losses on those, because Bryson Williams was not on the roster for Texas Tech men's basketball. So, but don't get me wrong though, they did bring some transfers in. They did. They brought in Avion Harmon, who was at Oklahoma at first, and he went to Oregon. Kerwin Walton from North Carolina. Malik Ondiga, which I know he didn't do great playing at Rice, but yeah, that's a transfer. Jalen Tyson from Texas. Besides that one they already got that I mentioned that he's out for indefinitely. So that's not a lot of guys. I mean, that's some transfers right there, but I will say they didn't bring back a lot in terms of last year's production, because Kevin Obanor, Daniel Baccio, KJ Allen, and if you really want to include a walk-on, Ethan Duncan. So 4 guys. That's not great. I mean, yes, you added through the transfer portal with at least 6 guys, and you did bring in some freshmen. And that's the good news. Some freshmen in, like 5 freshmen. So you kind of built that roster back up accordingly. So it's not like the end of the world, but in terms of depth. But the thing is, he probably would have been a starter, I would think, at Texas Tech, along with Kevin Obanor. Those 2 guys together, man, that's a problem to deal with. Because if you know Kevin Obanor, and I'm sure if you do, you know what he did at Oral Roberts and at Texas Tech last year. And if nothing else, just look at his highlights. That guy could play and score from anywhere on the court. I mean, Kevin Obanor, 33.6% from 3, 76.1% from free throws, 46.7% on field goal percentage. The only thing he doesn't do well is the steals category 0.3 last year and blocks 0.4. He did rebound the ball, led the team in rebounds though with 5.5. So that's another thing to keep an eye on too. They did lose Adonis Arms as well as Marcus Santos Silva. Besides Clarence Nadolny and Malik Wilson transferred out to Houston as well. So yeah, they have some question marks, but not like a ton. At least they have some transfers to help because Davion Harmon, he was good. He's good. Both at Oregon and at Oklahoma. So I just want to state this injury update thing, and it's kind of big going forward because of how good the guy is and what they need right now. I want to just see if what their non-con schedule consists of real fast, because I know some non-conference schedules have been released already. Just out of curiosity, Northwestern State, they don't have to worry. Texas Southern, you shouldn't worry in theory, but they have been known to knock off some teams in the past, so. And I think they were an NCAA tournament team last year, but I'm not entirely positive. Yep, they were. And they lost to Kansas, of course. Technically, in the second round, they won that first game against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. So that's a quality opponent. Louisiana Tech, you shouldn't worry about that in theory. You play Creighton in a Mahi Jim Invitational. Creighton was an NCAA tournament team last year, I believe. And of course, Arkansas or Louisville, I would say either way it's an NCAA tournament team, but I'm checking on the Louisville record and see if they're, as well as like if they made it to the NCAA tournament or not. Nope, they didn't. But I would think you're going to probably play Arkansas. You probably will. And as for that last game, I don't know who it is. It could be, but it probably is going to be at least a team that's Ohio State could be in there, San Diego State. So one of those two, Cincinnati, Arizona. That's just to name some other teams on the other side of the field. So that's kind of interesting. Then they played Georgetown. Georgetown, I don't think they made the NCAA tournament last year. I don't believe they did. Nope, but they were the year prior, so. And that's in Lubbock. So then they play Nichols. You shouldn't worry. Eastern Washington, I don't think you have to worry. Jackson State, you don't have to worry. Houston Baptist, but I think they're gonna change their name to Houston Christian. You shouldn't worry. South Carolina State, You should not worry. LSU, I think they were an NCAA tournament team last year, but they had some turnover with their situation and their head coach as well as the players as well, because a lot of players left from LSU as soon as that happened. And he was dismissed. Yeah, they were an NCAA tournament team, I believe. It's like whenever that happened, they were in NCAA tournament. They just got rid of them because of the scandal. So yeah, that's not like a tough non-con, but I will say you got to be aware because there's a lot of parity in the game. So now you know the schedule and what it consists of, and who knows on that last game? It's probably going to be Arizona. As for the last game, I would think because they're one of the better teams going to this year, I believe. But I know they were in NCAA tournament team last year as well, so it's probably going to be them. But who knows? Anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. Let's get into 400 subscribers and more by the end of this year.